the college game?
Yeah.
No, Pete Carroll's not coaching it. No.
Did you hear about the whole deal with him? Like, yeah, I'm gonna retire, and then he's like, you know what? Maybe I'm not gonna retire. I'm like, no, you're gonna retire.
Like in the first 5 minutes, he's like, yeah, I don't know if I'm ready to quit.
Like, no, you are.
Didn't they come out with something that he's still going to be involved with the front office or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, barring he gets another job.
Yeah.
That's pretty much still his stance, I'm pretty sure.
Like, hi, I'm Pete Carroll. I know a thing or two about.
Maybe it's because I've
football.
never had a position like that or a passion for something.
Yeah.
And that sounds a little sad. I've never had a passion for anything.
You're like, I don't really care about things.
Right. But well, you guys know me. I don't really like. There's most things I'm like, that's cool, and then if I find an inconvenience, it's gone.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine doing something for that long and then just being like, yeah, I want to keep going even though I'm not doing the best.
Throw it down, big man. Throw it down.
But like, I feel like I have enough self-awareness to get to a point in something where I'm like, yeah, I can't do this anymore. Like, I'm not competing.
I get it. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Ooh. Yeah. Yeah. It's and
like, not everyone's Tom Brady who can retire, come back, win a Super Bowl, fake retirement, come back and have an all right season. Like, his last season was still better than a lot of pro quarterback seasons.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, not everyone can do that kind of stuff. So I feel like at some point you've got to have a little bit of self-awareness and be like, oh, I'm done. Like, don't get taken out because something bad happened. Right. Just be like, I'm good. Also, I'm filthy rich.
Have you seen the thing where they have pointed out that Tom Brady is now technically an amateur again, and he still has a year of eligibility?
Yep,
left?
And could go to Michigan.
That's funny.
Yes.
In a world
when
I can go to
Tom Brady can do anything that he wants,
I would love to see that
and make more money through NIL in one single year than his entire NFL career.
Then Matteo Uiagalelei just breaks him in half.
Yeah, I don't think he would like that part.
We don't protect quarterbacks in college like they do in the NFL, buddy.
No.
I was watching somebody talk about Caleb Williams. I think I sent it to Robin. He's like, look, he doesn't make reads. All he does is miss the read and then run around and throw the ball.
I don't think you sent that to me, but you probably meant to.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Oh, hello.
Did either of you happen to watch the Senior Bowl or read anything about the Senior Bowl?
I think it's on Saturday, so no, I did not watch it.
Oh, I thought it already happened.
No, they're doing practices.
Oh, okay. Well, then never mind. Because I thought I saw something. The way the article, the clickbait article was written, I thought it had already happened.
Well, what did it say?
It said, well, I saw two of them. One said Bo Nix's poor performance is hurting his draft stock, and then I saw another one that says his excellent performance has just rocketed him to a top 15 pick.
Wow, sounds like
and I was just
regular cycle.
Yeah, and I was just like, wait, I just saw those on back-to-back days. Has this game how did he have a terrible and great game?
Because he had practices. He had terrible practice, then he had great practice.
Right.
But it's crazy how they're like, they watch an entire season of a guy.
Right.
And then they watch one practice and they're like, fuck it, he's trash.
Right.
And then the next day he comes out and they're like, fuck it, he's awesome.
Mm-hmm. He just spent 2 years in a system becoming great, and he goes to practice. and he misses a couple reads because he doesn't know anybody there. This guy is garbage.
Well, I mean, I'm used to having a first-round pick as a wide receiver. What the fuck?
Yeah. I saw, what's the kid that is going to the Senior Bowl. That's a DB for Oregon.
Kyrie Jackson.
Yes. I was like, Jackson. He picked off Bo on a fade route, and it was quite funny. Because everybody's like, oh my God, he got picked off. And then they're like, wait, this guy's probably seen him throw that ball 100 times.
Right?
A little unfair, yeah.
He knows exactly where it's going. He has covered receivers in practice.
He's covered that route.
Yeah.
From that quarterback. More than anybody there. Yeah.
Yep. I got onto the whole the Twitter deal after Jabbar Muhammad committed to Oregon. And some smooth brain is like, it's like, oh yeah, well he went up against Rome Odunze like every day in practice, and they're like, well, I've got some bad news for you about those practices. I'm like, who cares how good he was against him in practice? A guy who's not gonna play for your team this year,
and a guy he's not gonna see.
Yeah, like
okay. Hugh Allen Iverson.
Yeah, we're talking about practice.
Practice.
I got bad news for
you.
He got cooked by a Odunze in practice. Okay.
I saw Tyreek Hill get mossed by a high schooler. Ooh.
Yeah,
I didn't see that.
Like, no one cares the one-time thing.
Mossed.
Right?
Did you see where somebody asked Randy Moss if he had ever been mossed? And he's like, no. It's my thing.
Yeah. No.
I don't get mossed.
Yeah.
I moss.
I'm mossing all over these monster fuckers.
Mossing all over.
I don't get mossed. I'm moss.
Oh, so good. Oh my God. I just realized that Bill Walton is calling the game with his favorite.
Dave Pash?
Yes.
Ah, yeah. I love Dave Pash.
Walton thinks we get 7 teams, and Joe Lenardi has 3. And he says Washington State's the first 4 out, Oregon's next 4 out. Like, we're literally tied for first in the conference.
Right.
And Utah's a 9 seed. Utah looked terrible, and we played even worse.
Yeah.
They beat us by, what, a bucket?
I don't know. I didn't watch.
It was really close. I watched it. I don't remember, though. It was a long time ago, like 2 weeks.
But there's not going to be a national champion coming out of the Pac-12 this year.
Nope.
Or any year, for that matter.
I would like to see us make the tournament. If we get in, we'll win 2.
Do the old Altman run.
Yeah. It's pretty standard. But we look better right now on defense than we did last week against Arizona by a lot. We're still letting USC shoot the lights out. Yeah, they're 4 of 6 from 3, and Oregon's still winning by 2. Because they're not making anything else.
Just shooting from outside.
So I wrote down 2 things to ask.
You have questions?
Yeah.
I thought you had 3 questions.
Well, 2 of them are tied together.
All right.
Should I wait, or should I give you time to think about them? I think one of them I should give you time to think about.
All right.
The other one we could talk about as we go. Is Michael Keaton the greatest MCU DC movie star? And I have a list of people who did both and what they were in.
Michael Keaton.
Yeah, he was Vulture.
Oh, yeah. I forget he was. Yep.
He was pretty good.
Okay, so you're looking for the best dual comic world actor / actress.
And there's some that, like, I didn't list all of them because there were some that were in, like, The Losers, which I didn't realize was a DC.
Yeah,
sure DC. Yeah.
Because if you count Losers, then Chris. Which Chris? Captain America Chris.
Yes.
That's him.
He's been in
Hemsworth.
like 6.
No, that's
No,
Thor.
not Hemsworth. Chris Evans.
Evans. Yeah,
He's been in
Yeah,
like
that one.
6 different comic movies.
yeah.
And also Varsity Blues. No, he was in Not Another Teen Movie.
Okay,
Yes,
I was
Not Another
like,
Teen Movie.
was he?
He played the Varsity Blues knockoff character in
Yes.
Another Teen Movie.
Yes.
Yes.
I give it a 10.
A 10. Fucking 10.
I watched that movie way too much, and then I realized one day I'm like, this movie blows.
I have one on my list. Well, actually, yeah, probably one that I would say might be better, and there's another one that we'll talk about that could be close. I don't know. I'll list them off. It'll be
Yeah,
fun.
list them off because I'm not.
You'll be surprised at how many have played Batman and then something in the MCU.
Mm-hmm. Are you counting the
Or
animated?
Catwoman.
Are you
No,
counting all the
I took
animated?
those off. I took those
Okay.
off because those were stupid. I was like, no, that's not. That
Mhm.
doesn't count.
Because there's like 3 like super popular Batman voice actors. One of them's dead now, and he got to play a live action Batman on the CW's Flash.
Yeah.
He's the guy, and I can't remember his name, but when he died, that is when. Fuck, I am doing terrible with names right now. Luke Skywalker.
Mark Hamill.
Mark Hamill.
Yep.
When that guy died, Mark Hamill said he wouldn't voice the Joker anymore.
It was you're talking about Kevin Conroy.
Yep, that's the word.
Cum shot Bandersnatch.
Yep.
Yeah, Kevin Conroy is my Batman because of the animated series. Like I watched so much TAS that like he was my Batman more so than Adam West or anybody
The
else.
animated series. I was like, what the fuck is TAS?
The
It's,
anime series.
It's
I know, he said,
the
like right
the
before
evil
it.
version of TSA.
There's a more evil version of the TSA.
TAS lets you bring in
Oh,
your
okay.
laptop.
TSA arrest you.
I
TSA will check your cornhole.
it's a good thing that
Good
I get
time.
really fucking high before I like way above and beyond before I get to the airport, because like going through security is so annoying, because like leaving SeaTac, I'm used to take your shoes off, get all your stuff out, all electronics out of the bag, put them in the bin. Everything goes in the bin. You put the bin on the thing, put your shoes on top, take your hat off, take your sweatshirt off, take everything off, put it in the bin, slide it through. Okay, that's cool. Now I'm in Los Angeles. Like, what are you doing? Why are you taking that out? Why? No, you put it back in there. Put it back in. No, nothing comes out of the bag, sir. And they're like, keep your shoes on. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, do you have a belt on? Yes. Okay, good. I'm like,
Yeah, kick his ass. There's
This
cat
is-
fighting.
every different airport has like its own rules, and TSA is not uniform, and it's so annoying.
Yeah. It's
Hang on a second.
especially the gun thing, because I travel with firearms.
Right.
Like you always have to call in, and then you ask somebody, and they're not sure. Like TSA's got its own rules, Delta's got its own rules, United, they all have different rules that are
Right.
similar, so it's easy to fuck up.
The rules, they all basically come down to put them in a crate, screw the crate closed, and then put it on the fucking plane.
Yeah.
Unless there's guns in it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't put ammunition in there.
No, can be.
Oh, you can put ammunition in there too?
Yeah. So I usually just take my a pistol or two.
Didn't
So
we
I've got-
learn that going to Vegas?
No, because I didn't take anything to Vegas with me that
No,
trip.
but we learned it either in Vegas or on the way to Vegas. I'm pretty
Mhm.
sure.
Did we talk to Brian? Did Brian and Trevor take pieces with them?
I think Brian did.
Okay. But yeah, so what I did when I went to Idaho was Pelican case with a foam. It usually is full of foam with my pistols in the cutouts. I
Mhm.
took the bottom foam out, put boxes of ammo in it, put the foam on top, pistol and empty mags, and then I was just like, all right, we're rolling the dice here, because I had also heard that they had to be separate. Your ammo and firearm had to be in separate cases, and I'm like, that's $140 worth of cases. Like, not doing it. We'll see what happens. And I've done that 3 times now, or 4 times now, and it's worked every time. And I'm like, Everything's unloaded, but they're separated, and it has to be. The wording says it has to be in the manufacturer's box for the ammo.
Mm-hmm.
But I've seen guys with those plastic pull top lids.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen guys with those too go straight through. I think it just needs to be separated. You can't have a loaded mag in there.
That seems logical.
Yeah,
It should take more than 5 seconds to have your weapon loaded.
Yeah, right. So I'm okay. Like I said, I haven't had a issue yet, other than getting to Arizona at midnight, and then nobody's at the special desk for me to get my guns. And my dad and I are just like, okay, I guess we've got our bags and we're just sitting there waiting. And it starts clearing out, and finally someone comes out and they said, "You got some weapon cases?" We're like, "Yeah." And he walks over, looks at my ID, looks at the tag, says, "There you go." And I roll out. So it doesn't come, your weapon case doesn't come out on the carousel. At least I've never had that. They take it into a special room where it has to wait, which again, I guess that makes sense, because if I was a bad guy and I saw a weapon case with a lock that I could cut with bolt cutters,
or just a guy who knows what an opportune criminal.
Yeah.
Not necessarily a terrorist.
Sounds like
I just said bad guy. It's bad guy.
I'm pretty sure I saw some people stripping a car today, but I also realized that was none of my business, and I kept going.
USC is not fucking missing from 3. I don't know what the percentage is, but they're only down by 2, and they're shooting like shit, except for from 3, which I've only seen them miss like once. Budge.
It'll wear off.
It usually does, but Arizona, man.
Well, they're actually good.
They weren't, though. If we hold that guy to his season average, we win by 8 or 12. I forget which one. But one dude got 36. Hot, and he had 36. Is that what it was?
Yeah. An absurd amount of points. A ridiculous amount of points for college.
It was a lot.
Went to the doctor the other day, and I said, "I think I'm going deaf." He says, "Okay. Well, can you describe the symptoms?" I'm like, well, Homer is the dad, and he's fat, and he's bald. Marge has blue hair and is tall.
Did you come up with that?
No.
Oh, I was like, that's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
No, I wish I did.
That dude you sent the other night, like, I was like, this guy sounds like Mitch, and then you said, he kind of reminds me of Mitch, and I was like, yeah, that's what I was saying.
That's Mitch.
Yeah. He had that delivery where he would, all of his
the way he was talking, I couldn't tell what he was going to say next.
Like, it was a surprise to him, too.
Oh, exactly.
That's our Mitch Hedberg portion of the pre-show.
I
haven't written anything down. I've been too engrossed in the
Balconcesto Contesto.
Something like that.
I don't know what the fuck you just said, little kid.
Some weird words in Spanish.
Yeah.
My favorite Spanish word is skyscraper, because it's rascacielos, which is a pretty cool sounding word.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good one. Dude, these fucking cats will not shut up. I told my dad to go out there, and he did not go out there. Or if he did a terrible job.
If he went out there, he did not do a good job.
I didn't mean to sound like that. But as I was saying, I was like, shit, I'm doing it.
He came back. Another Mitch Hedberg.
Either he did not scare away the cats, or the cats did not care. They said, "Get out of here. We're having a fight." You're next, old man.
They were not scaredy cats.
I started drinking Dutch Bros.
These people, they could have been anywhere in the world.
Oh God.
Oh, I don't know how we're gonna top that, honestly.
Oh my God.
Oh, Robin, you know
Oh.
the Dutch Bros on Carnes Road? Winston by the Rays?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Winston.
So you know how they only have one drive-up window and then a walk-up window?
Yeah.
So after work, I've got a lot of work to do tonight after the show. So I was like, I'm gonna get some Dutch Bros because I've recently started drinking Dutch Bros again.
Yeah.
Oh, you're in college.
Yeah. So I drive up there and there's like 12 cars lined up. So I parked and I walked to the window because I was like, there's a walk-up window for a reason.
Right.
And there was like 7 kids in there, just one guy working, and then like 5 others just standing around. And I'm just standing at the window. And I know the normal look of my
gotta go up there.
face. Yeah.
Housekeeping.
The window was completely open, so I heard everything those high school girls were talking about.
Oh.
Yep. And so I'm standing there, and I know the general look of my face when I'm standing in line waiting for something.
The general look of my face is the name of the pre-show.
I'm not writing on that.
General look of. So finally, some girls like, "Hey, do you want me to get this guy's order?" And I was like, "That'd be cool." Not like trying to sound like an asshole, but just being like, that'd be. But I heard it come out of my voice. I'm like, man, I bet I look and sound like a dick right now.
Yeah. Or they're too oblivious to even know because they are at a Dutch Bros. A lot of times they're like, huh?
Huh?
And then the girl started chatting me up, was asking me a bunch of questions. And I was like,
how do you get your beard that color?
Yeah, I got one of those.
Plans going on?
And I was like, you're in high school.
Does
hey,
the shag match the drapes?
Call me in a couple years.
So let's see.
Or don't.
Or like 2004. Yeah, 2006. Were you born before 2006?
Yes.
You asked that.
Oh.
Right? Does that not seem wrong? It seems pretty wrong.
See, I graduated like that's at that weird creepy line now, like because I graduated in 05.
I was in 04.
So it's like the kids who were babies. Like, that's a like because I relate to everyone as to how old were you? How old were you when I was a senior in high school? Is basically where I see you in my hierarchy of the world. So like if you were in 8th grade when I was a senior in high school, you're an 8th grader to me forever.
I have classes with this one girl. Do you remember Tyson Woods, Robin? The kid that transferred from Texas that was supposed to be our next big thing? So I'm in class with her, and they've got different names, and we're talking, and she asked me where I went to school. I was like, South Umpqua. She's like, when'd you graduate? And I was like, 04. And she's just like, do you know my brother? And I was like, I don't even know you. Like, we just met 5 minutes ago.
I don't even know you. All right, man.
She told me Tyson, and I was like, it blew my mind just because that was
Dave, shut up.
This is her brother, her sister.
Cool.
Well, these people.
Hey.
Here we are.
And there
we're
you
back
are.
again. It's another edition. It's another episode of my show. And he's going through another turn of Saturn crisis here. You may see him slurping down some Dutch Bros. Looks like the blended drink there. Is that a kicka? A frozen kicka?
An annihilator.
A frozen annihilator?
Frozen annihilator.
I used to ride with a guy who liked to have the frozen kicka. Anyway, that's Dave.
Yeah, it's me drinking DB, not hitting on high school girls.
That's not what you said in the pre-show.
No, that's. It's Thumb Hogan. It's like that. That's like the a televised thumb wrestling championships.
All right, James. Listen here, brother. I'm gonna tell you something. You don't know what's going on, but this Sunday it's going down.
Did you fail me or did I fail you?
But speaking of his thumbs going down, it's Robin.
Yeah, speaking of butts,
Shit.
Wait, now I gotta find that thing. All right, yeah, I am Robin. You goddamn right I am. I like the Ducks, and they're playing right now. And this guy exists. So if you're watching YouTube,
Oh my goodness.
Yep. Anyway, bringing it back around.
I thought I had no neck at one point.
Bringing it back around like the basketball hoop. It's a circle.
Easy
Mhm.
circle.
And so is the hoop snake known as Jake.
Yeah, touching tips.
Doop. It's me, One Take Jake, back in the saddle again. And yeah, you know, that guy's neck is going into business for itself. Like it's something special.
Wait. Hey.
Like I can't even
I can't do it.
I have too much of a neck to not neck.
I have too much of a neck to not neck is the name of the episode.
It's an early
I'm gonna
hitter.
write all that down.
It hurts doing that to my neck.
Like how do you get to and for those who are listening, there's a video of a guy on the internet. I know it's this new thing.
Shocking.
And he's sitting there wearing sunglasses and he's got the goatee and he looks like people who are mad at Taylor Swift's profile picture. But his neck, instead of being normal, like a regular neck, goes like a 45-degree angle down, like to where his trapezoids would be. But instead of there being trapezoids there's more neck.
There's just more neck.
There's
He's
just
like
more neck. So he looks like a thumb. He actually appears to be like a thumb. Robin, show him what he looks like. Show him what they look like.
It's the everlasting gobstopper of necks.
The everlasting gobstopper of necks.
Yep.
Write it down.
I am.
But yeah, so
It's
this
impressive.
this guy he says this silliness about, you know, was it me who failed you or was it my creation who failed me, because, you know, he clearly knows he looks the way that he does. And yeah, so someone responded with a thumb that looked like him. So there's a joke explained to you for all our audio listeners.
Now it's not funny.
Welcome aboard.
Thanks a lot.
When you started that last little explanation, it felt like a Bane thing, and I was like, "Oh, who failed you?
Oh,
Was it
I
your
who
chin
failed you?
or
Or
your
was it you who
neck?"
failed me? Yes, I'm Bane.
Speaking of Bane, he's on my list.
Oh,
Yeah.
that. Oh,
Yeah, segues. What's up, guys? Hey,
Mall cops.
so I texted these two fine-looking gentlemen, question or mentioned that I had questions I wanted to ask on the podcast
he
today.
warned us that there was
I gave you
there
a
were
heads up.
questions.
I
Yeah.
was like, hey, doing
Then I
research.
stopped thinking about it.
And then I wrote down a bunch of them that I could think of. So I had this question: is Michael Keaton the greatest MCU DC star? Now, Michael Keaton, we know, was Batman in the
Is
80s.
Batman.
He is Batman. He was on the Flash movie as Batman again. And then in the MCU, he played Vulture. And the reason that was what brought up the question to me, because I'm watching and I'm like, oh, I forgot about Michael Keaton playing Vulture. And so I wrote that down, and I was like, Ryan Reynolds was also in MCU as Deadpool, and then Green Lantern.
Yeah,
Yep.
but,
See, and he's like, please don't make the suit green.
yeah.
Or animated.
See, as good as he was as Deadpool, you're carrying an albatross with Green Lantern there.
He was equally as bad.
Watching the
didn't
Green
like
Lantern
it.
movie, I got so excited for the potential of a Deadpool movie because he is Wade Wilson pretending to be the Green Lantern.
Well, then he shows up and is Deadpool.
He's Deadpool because he was Deadpool in the first
Wolverine Origins.
The
one of
Wolverine
Wolverines,
Origins,
it's a shitty
Mhm.
Deadpool, but he was also in Blade 3,
Was he?
Run with
Trinity.
Triple H?
Blade Trinity.
where
Yep.
I got the phrase horse humping thunder cunt.
I
Mhm.
need to watch. I need to actually watch all the. I've never actually seen the Blade movie.
Not too long ago, I went on a Blade binge.
You said you were gonna watch them. I remember.
Yep, and I watched all 3 Blades, and I was excited the whole time. I enjoyed them. I know, like the Blade Trinity got a lot of shit because of Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
Like people didn't like him in it.
He was Ryan
him.
Reynolds,
He
though,
was
yeah.
Ryan Reynolds, and no one was used to it yet.
Yeah.
Is really what it was.
like
and
the thing
Jessica
they knew him
Biel.
from most was two guys, a girl, and a pizza place.
Mhm.
That was him.
Yep.
And 2 guys, a girl, and a Ring camera.
Yep. And then 2 girls and a cup.
Yeah, that happened also.
Hmm.
Not in the MCU though.
No,
It
that
was
was. I think that was like
Now
Dark
there
Knight.
is a multiverse where it happened. So
So okay, here's my list. I'm gonna go through. I'm gonna list the actor and see if you guys can remember who they are.
all right, I like that.
Let's go, Halle Berry.
Halle Berry's
Berry.
Catwoman. Halle Berry.
And Storm.
There-
Yep.
Catwoman, Storm.
Catwoman and Storm. Nice job. That was easier. So here's one that I thought might be better because I thought Michael Keaton as Vulture was pretty good. Christian Bale.
Batman. Yes, Batman.
Batman and Gore. I
And
like.
who?
I thought his Gore was creepy.
I thought Gore was
Like-
pretty fucking good.
Real, like I'm not gonna say
Oh
real,
shit!
but like
Right. Oh god, I forgot
Like,
about
was
that. That
good.
was
like
awesome.
gatekeeper fans hated it
Yeah.
because they hate everything that isn't true to the
exactly how
source
the comic
material,
is,
and they're
yeah.
fucking nerds, and they give nerds a bad name.
Word.
It's true.
I hate
Because
everyone
we're all
who likes the stuff I like. I hate you.
because we're all nerds about shit too, but we also understand it's a new format, and you need to do something different that's going to
Right.
keep my attention.
Can't be the
Because
same.
if you tell me, if you just put the stories I read as a child on the screen, I will enjoy it, but not as much as the twists and the differences. So if you're a Gatekeeper
That's
fan,
a great way to put
like
it.
you fucking nerd.
That's a great way to look at it. I'd never really
Mhm.
considered it that way because I'd always kind of watched something and been like, "Oh, this is different from the book," and I'd never really thought of it like as worse. You know, I've never been one of the book was better kind of guys.
Hmm.
But like I've always been like, this is different. It's a little bit different. It's just not what that was. But I really like the way you put that. Is like the twists and turns that come from doing it differently is what makes it a good movie. I like
Right.
that's a good philosophy.
Yep.
Mhm.
All right. Michelle Pfeiffer.
She was also Catwoman,
Catwoman and
and
she was
Jane.
in she's in Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania.
Yep.
Janet Van Dyne.
Janet Van Dyne. That's right.
Yep. I think she's in 2 of them.
Yeah, she is.
She
She's at
might
the-
even be in the first one, but you don't see her face.
Right.
Mhm.
You see
She's in
her
the second
foot.
one
That
when
could
they realize where she's at, and then
She'd been cast at that point. I
Yeah.
knew
Directed
that.
by Quentin Tarantino.
Feet.
J.K. Simmons.
He wants pictures of Spider-Man.
He does. He
I
wants
really
pictures of
like
Spider-Man
J.K.
now.
Simmons though.
He's great
Good
in
one.
everything.
Like he was a great jacked Jim Gordon,
Mhm.
and he was a great J. Jonah Jameson.
Jameson. Yeah.
Triple J's.
Triple
the
J.
arch nemesis of Triple H.
Triple H. Yep.
No, the arch nemesis of Triple H is litigation right now.
They fight over the
Oh.
eye in the middle.
Yep.
The Intercontinental Championship.
International House of Pancakes.
The intended international idiots. Triple
That's
I's.
us.
See? That's us. Yep. All right.
I do
Idris
really
Elba.
like the J.K. Simmons.
Idris Elba is a confusing one because he's been in like 6, I feel like. I could think of 3 for sure, and then I looked online and there were more.
There is. I only think of him as Heimdall,
Uh-huh.
which again, you fucking gatekeeping nerds. Fuck you for not liking Idris Elba as Heimdall. He's an
Right.
excellent actor.
He's so good.
It's a make-believe Viking culture in the fucking
Fictional
stars.
character.
Who cares if he's black?
Fictional characters.
I hope they
and
make
he
Idris
was
Elba the next James Bond just to fuck with everybody.
Bloodsport in the Suicide
That was his
Squad.
name. I couldn't-
Yeah. Yep, that's right. He was the replacement for Deadshot.
Yep, because Will Smith was like, "Yeah, I'm not doing this."
He's
Mhm.
like, I
Gonna
gotta go
suck.
slap Chris Rock some more.
There's-
And it turned out it
there's-
was not shitty.
Yeah, there's only 2 sequels I do: Bad Boys and Men in Black.
They wanted me to do Independence Day 2. I said, nope, can't do it. It's a live bear. It will literally
Rip your
They
face
got
off.
actual aliens this time. I'm not
we got
doing
real
that.
aliens. It's actually about us going to their planet and looking for
Mhm.
oil.
Ben Affleck.
Batman and Daredevil.
Yeah, that was
Mhm.
easy.
I liked. You know what? People shat on Daredevil. I liked it. I
enjoyed
liked that movie. I watched it a ton of
Mhm.
times.
And
I've never watched it.
yep.
I just know it exists.
Mm-hmm.
I trained my body.
I really thought it was. Again, I was younger when we watched this, so I wasn't as critical of shit. I think I could watch it again and still enjoy it. I was just happy that there was a Daredevil production, and you got to see this smaller character. That
it was cool.
Yeah, you got to see something different. Like
the way they did the Vision was really cool.
Mhm.
In the big final fight scene. This doesn't ruin anything because you basically know how it's going to end anyway.
It's been 20-something years.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
So like through the Kingpin's office, there's like all this water running like through these just channels basically covered in glass, and Daredevil smashes up all these channels and like busts out all the fire sprinklers fire all the sprinklers, and so he can hear the rain and he can see the rain falling on Kingpin, so he can basically see the whole room.
It's
and like yeah, it was they did it was a lot like the Red Matrix is the way they did Daredevil, but like with sound waves. So like he would bang on something and you would see the sound wave travel down and come back. So it looked like they conceptually it was really cool. I liked that movie, and people shat on it.
And at that time, what did we have at that time?
Spider-Man.
We had Superman, Batman, Spider-Man. He'd come out with its second or third movie.
And it wasn't Spider-Man 2 was like taking over the world.
Yeah. It was just cool to get some. Yeah, I would just really enjoy that there was a Daredevil
before Iron Man, so it was a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
Iron Man was such a like watershed moment in cinema, honestly.
Pretty good.
All right, what you
got? Willem Dafoe,
Green Goblin, and
Vark or Zach or something like that in Aquaman. Volko, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see Aquaman.
Mm-hmm.
What? It's actually good.
I don't. It breaks my rule.
Yeah, well, you have lots of rules.
Yeah, and they don't disappoint me.
The Joker has a thing about rules.
Yeah, well, the Joker has a thing about money too, and we don't agree there either.
That's true.
It's because he had it. It's easier to be like that when you have it.
Well, hey.
Yeah. All right, and then my last one, Tom Hardy, which we already.
Tom Hardy's pretty solid with the Bane and Venom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one.
Venom was really good.
Yeah, I still need to watch Carnage.
It's more campy.
Well, I think they did a good, more campier than the first one. Really.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I like campy. I could do campy.
I mean, I watched it more than once. That's.
Mm-hmm.
It's campy in the same way that like Army of Darkness is campier than Evil Dead 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a good way to look at it. Anyway,
and Army of Darkness is my favorite.
So who's the winner?
My vote would go to the J. Jonah Jameson, Jim Gordon.
Was he that good of a Gordon?
I really liked him as Gordon. I don't know.
I think Gary Oldman's a better Gordon.
He's not a better Gold. Yeah.
Triple J is up here.
Yeah.
He's
Gordon,
he's S tier Triple J.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true because Gary Oldman's Gordon, like that's not going to get beaten. But I also feel like Gary Oldman also got 3 movies of screen time.
And Gary Oldman also played Gary Oldman.
Yeah. We didn't get that much.
But I didn't know that he was British until after that movie, like well after that movie.
Oh, really?
He was
one of the few not surprising British voices for me.
It got me because I was, and I also didn't realize that he was in The Fifth Element as the bad guy. And I was like, because I was looking him up one day because somebody was like, he's in all these things, Fifth Element. I was like, who the fuck was he in Fifth Element? And I was like, he was
a black guy with the microphone.
And then I watched it and I was like, oh my God, that's definitely Gary Oldman. Like he's been in Harry Potter and all sorts of shit.
Gary Oldman is one of those actors that I'm like, how has he not been in a Star Wars movie?
He probably has. We just didn't know it.
It could be too. But like
Chameleon.
he's definitely like he's a great actor. I like him.
He's more of a chameleon than David Deaton.
Yeah. They don't call me David the Chameleon Deaton for nothing.
I could see Gary Oldman playing like one of the stormtroopers.
Gary Oldman could play David Deaton.
Yeah, that's
In
how
a
good he
movie.
is.
Gary
I'm
Oldman
surprised he's
might
not
be
playing
on this
David Deaton right
podcast.
now.
I'm not even David Deaton. I'm actually Gary Oldman, guys. Playing
This
your
holy
friend.
shit! Interviews with interesting dudes with fucking
With Gary Oldman.
Gary Oldman.
I know who I am.
Like, hello, Gary. What was it like when Christian Bale put a stapler to your back and said it was a gun? Did you actually think that was a gun? You're dumb.
So I can't. I mean, obviously, discussing this now, we can't do it. But we should rent an actor, pay an actor to come on here and be one of us one day.
It would be funny to do a cameo and Space Ghost Coast to Coast it basically. So basically ask them a bunch of questions, or like 4 or 5 questions where they'd give us an answer and then recut it and then ask different questions and then act like they're being assholes.
Right. Oh, that would be good.
I
Like,
don't know who we should hire to.
Or what if we could
What's
get
his name?
3 midgets to play us? We get a midget version, and then it would just be a short. That was my dad joke of the day.
Oh,
put it on YouTube Shorts. That's-
Scaredy cats.
Scaredy Cats is pretty tough to beat. Holy cow. And you got to go back into the pre-show.
You gotta hear the pre-show.
If you want the Scaredy Cats joke, you got to go to the pre-show. Make sure you're
Oh.
checking that out on. This is our plug. We'll hit it early.
we should
Go
do.
to YouTube.
It took me forever to find his
Not
name.
selling drugs.
Randall Park.
Oh,
We
were you
should
trying to
use
figure out
Randall.
who plays Jim?
Yeah, but I was
I-
like, we should do Randall Park to do that because that would be.
That would be really good.
Randall Park as you would be really funny. But in general, like after a while, I was watching, there were a couple things that are road that I saw Randall Park in. I think the last one was when I was still watching Young Rock for a couple weeks. And I'm just sitting there and I'm watching it and I look over at Jen. I'm like, there's just something about Randall Park I don't like. Like when I'm watching him, it's like what he's doing isn't actually what he's doing. And she's like, you can tell he's acting. I'm like, yes. I think that's a problem. Like no one else looks like they're acting, but Randall Park looks like he's acting.
You should watch that movie that was on Amazon, where it was like the time travel murder movie. I can't remember what it was. We talked about it on here.
Time travel.
Time travel murder.
Yeah, I told you guys to watch it.
Totally sick. Or
Totally.
Yeah, I watched it. The girl that goes back to the
Yeah.
80s. Yeah.
Because Randall Park plays like a cop, and he's like standing there smoking, and I'm like, this is weird.
And stand there with his fucking eyebrows. Go, hey, I'm Randall Park. I have.
That's Troy McClure.
Oh, my bad.
Hi, I'm Troy McClure.
I'm
You
Troy
may-
McClure.
you
You
may
may
remember
recognize
me
me from
from
other nature films such as Earwigs. Ew.
Totally
Totally Killer.
Homer the dad, and
It's Maggie's the baby.
Robin, it was called Totally Killer.
Totally Killer. Hey, that's the one.
Oh yeah, never heard of it.
Judges, that is correct.
We will accept it.
Oh,
I couldn't remember. Did he have a mustache in Totally Killer? He did. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, did he?
Yeah.
It's a mustache.
It's more of the separated goatee
Does
thing.
Stanley have a mustache? a mustache.
It does.
Yeah, it's
like
the-
I always forget. Yes,
it's the
Stanley has a
separated-
mustache.
There it is. Yeah,
Mustache
yeah.
goatee
It's
combo.
It's the I'm Asian and I'm trying to grow goatee.
Yep.
I'm Asian and
Mhm.
I know it.
All he needs to do is get that chin part down to here, and he can like move it to the side before he does karate.
All right. Second question.
All right,
Which
question
has
number
2
2.
parts.
Question number 2.
Am I
2A.
becoming a Chiefs fan? And would that make me a bandwagoner?
Are you becoming a Chiefs fan? And
Your
would that
mic
make
got
you-
really quiet.
Hmm.
Wait, keep talking. You
Talk-
like, there we
talk
go.
some more? All
There
right.
we go. There we go.
are you becoming a Chiefs fan, and does that make you a bandwagoner?
Are you really a Chiefs fan or are you a Taylor Swift fan?
No, I like Travis Kelce. I watched him
Yeah.
on Pat Mack the other day, and I was like,
Yeah.
God damn, he's got some good answers.
Yeah, I do like him.
And he seems like a dude's dude. And then
Kelsey's a good guy.
Patrick Mahomes steps in there, and I was like, oh, he's not as much of a dick as I thought he was.
Oh no, yeah, I saw some of that interview too.
See, I've become increasingly annoyed by Patrick Mahomes, like, as time progresses.
Well, my dad doesn't like the Chiefs, so I don't have a predetermined dislike of them.
That's fair.
You've got extra motivation, like.
But you see, I'm rooting for the Chiefs in the Super Bowl.
Well, yeah, because nobody likes San Francisco.
Yeah.
Or you really like San Francisco.
Exactly.
Touching tips.
Number 11. Number 11.
We're allowed to say that. Did you know
What?
that? We can say
just
gay.
did air horn. I did air horn sounds. What are you talking
gay. Just did gay air horns.
Gay air horns is the name of this episode. Coincidentally, vuvuzelas are coming back.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Man.
Okay, so to answer your question, I guess only you can answer that question.
Well, so
Part A.
I don't really have a team that I'm like. I mean, I like when the Seahawks win, but
you're not a Hawks fan.
It's not really going to hurt my feelings when they lose, because I'm like, well, they always lose. This is what they do.
Yep.
And then, like, I see the Lions doing well, and I'm like, man, I've always kind of liked the Lions ever since Barry Sanders.
And then Eminem.
And then Eminem on top of that. Fuck yeah. You always put Eminem on top of the ice cream.
I used to like the Lions because I liked Matt Stafford for some reason, even though he got shit on so much.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look at his receivers, some of the top receivers in history, who was their quarterback?
Yeah.
Matt Stafford.
There's a couple of
Jerry Rice.
Yeah. But yeah, same thing. Like, I don't have a team either. I watch a lot of Kansas City because mom's a Kansas City fan.
Right.
And they're on CBS most weeks.
But my mom straight up, when, like, in the middle of the season when they weren't doing so well, she's just like, well, I guess I might be watching another team next year. And my dad's like, that makes you a bandwagoner. She's like, I don't care.
Right.
She's like, I want to watch winners. I'm not going to watch losers. And if they can't keep winning, I'm not going to buy their stuff and wear it. And I was like, yeah, that's a good point.
My great aunt is in Kansas City. And I was at my dad's house when the Chiefs were playing somebody, and it started, and it was like 17-0 the other team.
Yeah.
And
here we go.
So the Chiefs, I think it was the Raiders. I'm almost certain it was the Raiders. So
was it this year?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, probably.
So it was the Raiders. It was a big lead, and Tony Romo was on the call.
Oh.
So it's this enormous ball of fuck.
Yeah.
All at once. And then my aunt calls. And apparently this happens. She'll just call my dad in the middle of the game and be like, What are they doing? What the hell are they doing out there? Like, what are they straighten this shit out?
It's awesome.
And I'm just sitting there, I'm like, this is quite possibly the worst cocktail of things to all happen at the same time.
Oh, it was when the car was broken down.
Yes, that's right. So yeah, and then I was already agitated.
Annoyed on top of annoyed on top of annoyed.
On top of sober.
It was an annoyance sandwich.
And you can't put M&M on top of that.
You cannot put M&M on top of that.
It's sandwich. No, it doesn't help.
But yes.
Spaghetti.
Just absolutely. That took a second. Got there.
Yeah. I figured.
But yeah, then they turned it around and made it okay.
They still
But
lost though.
I think so. I think I covered.
Yeah.
I had the Raiders plus 10. I'm pretty sure, and I
That
remember
was-
sitting there laughing.
That was when the Chiefs turned it around because they're like, we got to do something different than last year. We can't just rely on our offense. And the defense was like, can we do some stuff? And then suggest you guys not just throw it like we're not going to get the stop.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Like, what if? And hear me out. What if we punted on our side of the field? Just give us a chance.
What?
Mm-hmm. Well, and their run game, like Pacheco in their run game this year, like that guy,
he is funny to me
Mhm.
because like, have you watched interviews of him?
I haven't seen any interviews.
He's interesting. He's like, people saying I look like a zombie when I'm running. Like, you just gotta look it up. Look at
Who is he like? He's like
Pacheco.
the Tracy Morgan of football. People say I look like a zombie when I run.
People say
One time we're watching the
I
game
can't
and
even
Dad
do
goes, "Hey, is he Mexican?"
Hey,
And I was like,
Pacheco.
Hey,
I was like, "Dad, his name's
Pacheco."
Pacheco. I'm sure he's something like Latin or." And then he takes off his helmet. I'm like, or native or Aztec. I don't know.
Native or Aztec.
or
I was like,
something.
something. I don't know.
Oh,
What was that movie that Mel Gibson made about
Passion of the Christ.
No, the other one.
Apocalypto.
Yeah, that one.
Lethal Weapon.
So,
Dude, that was a brutal movie.
I did not see Apocalypto. I have no desire to see Apocalypto.
It's a reedy movie.
It's a what? Oh,
It's a reading movie.
Lots of words.
They
that
don't
are
speak any
not
English
in
in it whatsoever.
American.
No.
skip.
You know, it's that I thought of that whole scenario today because Red Sparrow was there was nothing on TV. And I was like, oh, Red Sparrow's on. I like Jennifer Lawrence and she gets naked in this movie, so I'm gonna watch it. And she speaks English, but uses a shitty Russian accent. And I was like, why couldn't they have done that on Echo? I mean, obviously you're not gonna sign language and then say it, but still, like, the rest of them.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna pay you, Daredevil. 2
Big
weeks in a row.
Yeah.
Oh.
Daredevil fight scene.
But it just bugged me because, like, you can have Native American speaking like this, like,
With
speaking
knife
Native
man.
Americanly.
Speaking
Yeah, but-
indigenously. Oh yeah! Oh god, I haven't seen that dude in
Outta
a while.
Here, right? Get out of here, my way.
Fuck out of here!
Oh,
His
Throw all your
videos,
empties.
like his videos alone, made me re-download Red Dead
Red Dead,
Redemption. So
Really?
get this right. I've been playing NBA 2K
uh-huh.
and I hated it because the game sucks and fuck it.
Which version? Which year?
The most recent 2K24.
Yeah, I almost bought it the other day because I was like, I want to play. I
Better
heard
than
on
last
Tailgate.
year, but still bad.
Mhm.
So I deleted it. I'm like, I'm done with this. I don't want to play this shit anymore. It's not fun. I don't like it. I'm out. I'm cashing out.
Mhm.
And so in its stead, I was able to. This is how big this game is absurd. I was able to put Red Dead Redemption 2 and Grand Theft Auto 5 on my Xbox instead of NBA 2K24.
What?
Mhm.
NBA 2K24 is 182 gigabyte download.
Damn.
So if you have it, you have it.
Yeah.
That's wild.
And so that's
Mhm.
why until I realized I could play Call of Duty on my computer, I wasn't, because I was trying to figure out how to juggle things between storage and memory,
Right.
because, I have a game that takes 200 gigabytes of my 500.
That's
Mhm.
crazy.
That's why I bought one of those. I bought a terabyte
Yeah.
hard drive during COVID because it was 2 weeks in the room.
I have
you
like
know?
3 of these terabytes.
But yeah,
They're only
so
they're only like $40 now.
they've gotten so cheap now
Yeah.
It blows my
Storage
mind.
has
Remember,
gotten super cheap.
like a terabyte was like $300 or
That
something
was a
like
lot.
that.
Dude,
When
Like
they
back in the
first
day.
came out for an internal terabyte hard drive, it was like $500-600.
Mm-hmm.
I had one of those external hard drives, and it wasn't self-powered. I had to plug the bitch into the wall. That thing was like $200.
I have a
Mhm.
250 gig one that has to be plugged in to my old computer, and it's got a power supply too. It's crazy. And now I have 1 terabyte here, and this is like,
Just right there.
I would say 1/20th the size of the other one. Like, it's
Mhm.
huge. And then the little tiny thing. Now they make flash drive. You can get a little micro flash drive that's a terabyte. It's crazy.
Technology.
You know,
And like I
it's-
always tell people, my first laptop was like 512 megabytes, I think.
well, you go back to when you wanted to install Quake on your home computer, and you had to uninstall everything for this 1 gig download.
Right. Which
And
took
like-
3 days.
Yeah,
Word. I don't need that.
yeah. What's
I don't
this
need-
control panel?
Yeah, I don't need those, right?
So do you remember having to make backups of like your Windows files?
Mhm.
Like there's
Mhm.
a box of floppy disks, 3.5-inch. I think it holds 50. That's Windows out in our shed. I don't know why we still have it, but it exists.
This
Maybe
shit's
it's
important.
It's
for
got all that
future Indiana
pixelated porn.
Jones. It
It's
probably
all
wouldn't
porn
hold
that
any-
loads like this.
Yeah. It's like the old
It's-
printers.
Yeah, it's all dot matrix, and it's all just X's and V's in different patterns to make it look
Yep,
like boobs.
Yep.
It's like that art that you have to stare at until you see the picture.
It's a schooner. You dumb
You dumb bastard.
I just opened my phone and it's this. Ah,
Oh man.
that's a softing.
Do you
Softing could be the name of the episode, but nobody heard it.
I heard it.
I did.
Yeah, well.
I had to do something today that was not fun. I had
Uh-oh.
to do a lot of things today that were not fun.
Get a
This
colonoscopy.
week has been a lot of things that are not fun. but-
Dude, like my last month has been a lot of things that are not fun. I had to drive a 26-foot box truck through downtown Seattle into the convention center.
Oh. Why?
And well, because I had to deliver a display unit to my
Oh.
marketing team.
So does that mean you have to go
the
pick it up,
marketing
too?
team. Well, it's at my warehouse, but I had to go to Enterprise to rent a truck, and the only ones that they have. And I'm like, I've sent emails. I'm like, guys, the thing is this wide. It's 7 feet tall. It's 4 feet wide. We do not need a 26-foot box truck to transport this. Like a 16 will work, or maybe even a 10, but a 26 is overkill for our purposes. And what do we get? 26-foot box truck. So it took me 45 minutes to drive from my warehouse into the city, because of course they had to have me there at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Right. Makes sense.
And so I'm driving this huge bitch. And it's one of those deals where, like, you get surprised at how simple things are, and you just keep waiting for the other shoe to drop. And so I get there, and I pull in, and I'm like, okay, there's a detour, but I keep going straight. Just keep following it. And then I have to cross the street and go up this ramp that looks like I'm going into oblivion. Like, it's just dark. But that's where I'm supposed to go, according to this.
You're supposed to drive to the darkness and then press A, and it loads the next map.
Right. Didn't know
You gotta
that.
switch discs.
You gotta
switch
put
discs.
switch discs. So I get there, and there's just this little old man sitting in a chair. And by the way,
Did
it's
you ask-
incredibly
have
easy
to
to get in.
Answer his riddles 3.
No, what is your name? Let me see. He actually did ask me. He's like, "Who are you here with?" So I was like, "Yeah, here with Reborn." He's like, "All right, wait a
What are you
minute.
selling?
What is in your truck?" Cabinets. All right, go ahead.
You may pass.
You may pass. So yeah, so I go up, I take the shit in there, and I'm about to pull into the convention center, which is fine, but there's not room inside the convention center for this. I'm going to clear. My clearance is fine by 2 inches. I'm going to make it. But they're like, hey, instead of this, how about you just back up to those docks over there, and then you can just go in that way. I'm like,
God damn it.
dog,
It's information that could have been helpful.
something I
Again.
could have been told yesterday. So I back it up and I get it all situated. I basically put the entire booth together because the guy who was supposed to be there is like, he took a wrong turn at Albuquerque. And so when he told me that, I'm like, well, let's see if I can get this shit all set up before he gets here. And I was that fucking close, man.
So
I had it.
So close.
I was like, hey, I need your help now, so go ahead and help me flip it up here, and then I'm out of here. But I get to that point, and he's like, hey, where are the bags? I was like, oh, you can't be serious. So I drive back to Kent, get the bags, take them back to the fucking convention center. The second time I pull up, the guy's more skeptical because I'm just pulling up in a Suburban this time. Like the first time I didn't get a...
What is your name?
What's your name? Reborn Cabinets. He's like, you've been in before. I'm like, I know that.
You just say, sorry, I forgot.
Things you have to like keep pressing X to read the thing.
Right.
You've been here before.
You're like, sorry, I forgot to drop off these bombs.
Dialogue trees.
Can't say bomb at the Seattle Convention Center. Bomb, bomb, bomb.
You ever been into a place and you're kind of taken aback by how well ahead they plan shit?
I've worked for the government for too long, so no.
That's fair. But I pulled into the convention center, and the ramp was one way, so that wasn't great. But they had it pretty well policed. And then when you got up there, it was all on the roof of the building. Like the whole entrance and everything was on top of the main floor of the convention center. It was weird. And so, but you pulled up and there was this enormous space. I'm like, wait a minute. Hold up.
Hold up.
Someone
Wait a minute.
thought we're going to have to deliver a lot of shit here a lot of the time. Let's make a bunch of loading docks, which escapes a lot of people. It's weird.
True.
Hey, how many loading docks do you think we need? We actually get a lot of stuff. I'll just make
8.
one.
One's good, right?
Just one, right?
One will work.
You know,
Right.
You can only unload one truck at a time.
Yeah, but
Because we're only
also
going to hire 2 dudes.
but also make it after a 90-degree turn in a one-way alley.
You have to back down 1.5 miles.
Meanwhile, there's 7 or 8 people living next to the dumpster that you have to try to not hit.
Mm-hmm.
Those are
Hold on, they're
crucial
handing out HJs over there.
times.
So I'm gonna take a late lunch. Don't mind me.
The old dumpster HJ.
It was also like the time that I was in the hotel bar at the Bellevue Hilton before I lived here, and this young lady helped me find $100 up in my hotel room. It was so helpful.
Mm-hmm. You
I
needed
said, hey,
that.
I said, hey, there's a $100 bill somewhere in my hotel room. You want to help me come look for it? She said, sure.
That reminded me of basketballs with Melissa McCartney when he was like, we're gonna lay some carpet, and she's actually laying carpet.
Jenny
Gets
McCarthy.
down.
Jenny McCarthy.
Yeah, different.
Melissa
Melissa's her
McCartney's
cousin.
And fat.
She's fat.
Mhm.
That's a huge bitch.
There's a huge bit.
Actually, she seems like she'd be fine to hang out with.
Yeah, I would hang out with Melissa McCartney.
McCarthy.
Whatever. That's Paul
Melissa
McCartney.
McCartney is Paul's daughter.
Yeah.
Paul McCartney, Joseph McCarthy,
Mm-hmm.
Richard
Bob Dylan.
back again.
Yeah.
Is that what we're doing?
Moonshot, Woodstock, Watergate, punk rock.
Yeah, we're doing that.
Begging, Reagan, Palestine, terror on the airline, Ayatollahs in Iran, Russians in
Oh.
Afghanistan, Wheel of Fortune, Sally Ride, heavy metal, suicide, fallen gets, homeless vets, AIDS, crack, Bernie gets, hypodermics on the show when China's under martial law, rock and roll and cola wars, I can't take it anymore.
We didn't
Start the fire.
Start the fire. Dude, we got one more NFL game left.
Oh,
And
yeah.
one more football
Mhm.
game.
The Superb Owl.
The Superb Owl, because you can't say that other one. I mean, we can, because nobody
The
can.
big game. No,
Uh,
it's a Super Bowl. If I got a C and D, go right there.
Right? That would be cool. We should try that. Super Bowl,
you're-
Super Bowl, Super
you're
Bowl,
not
Super
let-
Bowl,
Super
Super
Bowl.
Bowl.
You're not
Bum,
supposed to
bum,
say
bum,
Super
bum, bum,
Bowl.
bum.
We're gonna make the
Yeah.
Super Bowl song. Super Bowl Shuffle.
The Super Bowl is trademarked.
You can trademark this dick.
Yeah, they.
I don't think
You have
they
to get
can
a
make
really,
it
really
that
small stamp.
Yeah. You guys. I wasn't
We
gonna
we were all
make
getting
the
there, I
small
got
dick.
it.
Yeah, I mean, appreciate it.
You already. Yeah.
We all know. We all know.
We all know.
Did you guys watch the games? The two games?
Kind of.
Some of them.
Not really. I was coaching
Oh, that's right. Who you coaching?
Nolan.
Basketballs?
Yeah.
Gotcha. That was why the questions are like, how would you relate?
Yeah,
Or-
because I
or-
was trying to talk to the two people who'd coached basketball, and I was like, all right, well. Then I realized that you just kind of got to have fun because they're not really.
Yeah, at that level, you're teaching a lot of fundamentals, and then as you see that they get those, then you can kind of give them a little more, but you really can't give very much very quickly.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Yeah.
Patience.
That's definitely not something Robin saw number of time coaching middle school football. I would just be like, how hard is this to do? You
Yeah.
smack them, and then you take your arm and go over that shoulder.
And then you flip them. How hard is that?
Into a pile driver.
That's
Yeah.
right, my friends. The pile driver. Yeah, that's right. Who's bad? Oh shit.
Oh, yeah.
Sidekick.
We
Thrust
got
kick.
Well, so okay, I watched both the games, and I think that's also where I started the whole Chiefs thing, because I was like, I don't think the Chiefs can beat Baltimore, but
You just can't kill them.
yeah, they're tough. They're just really good on defense, and then they fucking took it to them, and the way they were getting chippy back, because Baltimore tries to bully people. Or
Yeah.
did.
Mhm.
And KC was like, no, we're not. You're not doing that to us. So we'll just shove it right back in your fucking faces. And they
If
did.
you don't like it, too fucking
Mhm.
bad.
I enjoyed it. And then I saw the video of
Justin
Justin
Tucker.
Tucker.
Yeah.
and I was like, okay, these guys got me. I'm in.
Mhm.
It was good. But
It's-
that was fun.
It's funny. Like I watched the Detroit meltdown, and
Yeah.
man, just kick the fucking field goal.
Yeah.
Just
See-
go up by 17.
I had to take Riv to Roseburg to meet her mom because she can't drive all the way down here clearly. And so you're
Why
I was
does
like,
her ankle bracelet go off or something?
I don't know what the
Mhm.
restrictions are on.
She even gets winded driving, so
And usually they say something about like if one sheep travels that far off, then the shepherd has to go find him or something.
I don't know.
Anyway.
must work for pig farmers too. Then
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm watching the first half of the game and the Detroit game, and I'm like, all right, this is going well, but I don't know if it's gonna keep going. And then I see the Detroit guy waving, and I'm like, oh, that's not good. That feels like a bad sign.
That's a bad sign.
First half, you don't do that.
yeah.
And then you're texting about the game, and I'm like, oh, it's falling apart. The wheels are literally falling off this bandwagon. And poor
Mhm.
Eminem.
He
Man.
wanted
Yeah.
all the smoke.
He did, and then he didn't. He actually,
Mhm.
I don't know. He may have still just been like, "Oh, fuck those guys."
Yeah, I'm still Eminem. Like I'm gonna leave
Yeah.
through the private entrance that none of them
Right.
can.
You see
Right.
that picture of him flipping off all the
Oh yeah,
There's
Same,
video. I watched the video.
Yeah.
It was great.
hmm
that's
he's
exactly
like,
what we need in sports.
Eh.
Yeah.
I was really hoping for an Eminem Taylor Swift Super Bowl because that would have been great.
All of a sudden, like, who is scheduled to play the fucking Super Bowl this year halftime show?
Ursher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What has he got? What did Cat Williams say his name or something? Now he's got to do something.
No,
I
he
think
was
Cat Williams
already
didn't say his name.
scheduled to be in it. Yeah, that's.
Cat Williams said his name. Now he's got a cockback game.
They can't beat Eminem and Dr. Dre and Snoop and 50 Cent. Like, that's pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Rihanna was okay, and then we find out she's pregnant, and I was less excited about it. And people were like, "Oh my god, it's so brave." I'm like, "Nah, it's not
brave. She's still on the stage."
Yeah.
You know who made me a big fan of theirs with their halftime performance was Katy Perry.
Yes. That
I've
got a
famous
lot.
left shark.
I've always been a big fan of Katy Perry's boobs. So,
well, I was
Yeah,
sitting
big
there
fan.
watching the game, and then Katy Perry came on, and I'm like, first of all, I thought, wow, this is quite the performance. Like, she's putting on a hell of a show. And then I realized how many of the songs in a row I liked.
Right.
And then I was like, I actually like Katy Perry. God damn it.
God. Now.
And now it's fun because I have said things at work like, I'm listening to Katy Perry Fireworks. Is that the song you want to be the overture to what I'm about to say to you?
So that was on let's see, bringing it back around, Randall Park movie, The Interview.
Yep. Baby, you're a fine.
Oh yeah, I forget that he was Kim Jong-un in that.
Yeah.
You're right.
That was so good.
I want to watch that again.
I just as you said it, I was like, I need to watch that again. That's a good movie.
Same, but different.
They hate us because they ain't us.
That movie had so many weird little one-liners in it that are decent, and it's weird. I don't know how else to describe that movie. It's like the whole Eminem coming out at the beginning of it is really funny.
God.
And then it just keeps going from there. It's an absurdist level of comedy. And I feel like the movie kind of got a bad rep because it had Seth Rogen in it.
Right.
Well,
and James Franco didn't help either.
Hey, James
I
Franco.
really liked the story behind the movie and how it ended up getting released. Because North Korea was like, you can't, like, they're trying to stop the release of that movie.
We're like, no.
And they were like, okay, instead of theaters, here you go, world.
Yeah, we're not going to get fucking bullied by the junior varsity of nuclear
You're
superpowers.
not going to make money off of this. We're just going to get it, and also we're going to steal Fury and put that out in the world. Which that was a solid movie.
Was that the tank one?
Yeah.
I never saw that. I wanted to see it in theater, and I just never got around to it. And now I feel like not seeing it in theater, I wouldn't get the whole experience.
I don't think it got released into theater because it was one of the two movies, or maybe they stole it the weekend it was supposed to release or something along those lines, but it was something like that. I definitely downloaded it.
That was a really good movie.
What?
That was a really good movie, though. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Brad Pitt and
Shia LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf.
Running from your life from Shia LaBeouf.
Shane from The Walking Dead. I can never think of his name. And then also the guy from Ant-Man who I can't think, Luis. Yeah, Luis from Ant-Man.
Yeah, Michael Peña's in it.
Michael Peña. Yeah, there it is. That's one of them. Okay, what's Shane's name? As soon as you say it, I'll know it. He played Punisher on the Marvel TV show. Fuck. I can't think of his name. But he's friends with the guy who did my Animaniacs tattoo, which is
old Chris 541.
But Chris 541 minus the 4. Chris 541 that's like the Western Family version. He only does black and white tattoos.
Yeah, he does traditional style only.
John Barenthal.
There it is. God damn it. I was just looking it up.
But it's a great cast. It really is.
Yeah.
Like, Shia LaBeouf's a weirdo, but, like, he's a good actor.
Yeah. he talks. I saw him talking about like he pulled a tooth for that movie, and
Mm-hmm.
it was the story behind it is it's not as good as like Jim Carrey doing the broken tooth thing for Dumb and Dumber. Like that one was he'd already had a cavity filled there,
Mm-hmm.
or like Ed
wasn't
Helms.
the story from the tooth pull where they were like talking about how good looking he was?
Probably.
And he was just like, this is a war movie. I can't be good looking. So he pulled the tooth out.
Meanwhile, you got Brad Pitt, who just he's
like,
a
smoldering.
dude no matter what he
he's
does.
like, he's like, have you seen Troy?
Right.
Have you seen it?
I saw a thing the other day about Brad Pitt in Inglourious Bastards. You know how he has like the rope burn thing
Yeah.
on his neck?
They don't have a backstory to it.
They do.
They do everything.
They
Like
just
there's a
never
lot of
tell us.
lore to
Oh, yeah,
Inglourious
yeah.
Bastards.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's like I want to know what Quentin Tarantino and Brad Pitt think the backstory is. I want to know that. Like, because the way Quentin Tarantino explained it, everybody is going to have questions about that, and we're just never going to address them. So everybody is going to create their own backstory because they're going to be like, well, what do you think happened?
Mm-hmm.
And so everybody's going to have their own experience of that character, and it makes it unique. And I was like,
Yeah.
fuck, that's a great idea. And he was like, I did it, same thing with the box, the case.
Yep.
That it opens up and you never see it. And you're like, fuck
What's
is
in the
it?
box?
What's in the box?
What's in the box? Well, the thing about the Bear Jew when he comes out with the baseball bat,
Yeah.
There's lore to the bat is that he went through the ghetto and had everybody in the ghetto sign the bat before he went to Germany, and so he's using all these
That's
Jewish
awesome.
names to batter.
That's
and,
fucking
and
awesome.
he's just a Bronx, New York Jew
right.
who loves baseball, and so he's Teddy fucking ball game out that block.
Dude, I want to watch that again.
There's a lot of
wasn't-
movies that
don't
were
get
put on
hurt.
the
Ben
list.
Stiller supposed to be the Bear Jew instead of Eli Roth?
Oh, that would have been interesting.
Yeah, 'cause I think there was
something
someone-
like that.
I don't know if it was Ben Stiller. I want to
I've
say it was Ben
definitely
Stiller,
heard
but
there was a different casting, but I don't remember who it
Mhm.
was.
I mean, I think Eli Roth was-
Little
Eli-
Geppetto.
Eli Roth was just fine.
because Ben Stiller's also very short.
Yeah. Whereas
So
Eli
I always
Roth, and
forget that.
if you get the Bear Jew, you want someone that can look intimidating.
big,
I mean, Ben Stiller's gotten jacked, but like
Right.
skinny guy jacked.
right?
No, but he it's like before when he was just kind of prep.
man.
Yeah, he beat me to it. I was trying not to go into the Lincoln Osiris voice to see how far into it I could get before you beat me to it. But, before
I got
Rocky 1, he
this
was all
far.
puffy, and then Rocky 2, he was
Well,
all
you
cut
more
up. That's what you look like, man.
You more shredded than Julian Potato, man.
We got any tips? You got any tips? Give me the goddamn map.
Fucking lost, man.
It's a chump move.
But
I
that's
don't
another
know what
movie.
we're talking about anymore.
Right.
We got caught up in fucking Lincoln Osiris and Tropic Thunder.
Yeah, we're just doing a show. Now we're
We
just
went
doing,
from Bear Jew to Lincoln Osiris.
That's basically this podcast.
Now,
The Bear
Well,
Jew to Lincoln
hey,
Osiris. That's
come
the name
with
of
us
the
on a little
episode.
trip.
Come with us
Called
from-
ADHD.
We're gonna,
That's not
from the-
that's not the name. That's just the topic.
Yeah, from the Bear Jew to Union Pacific Railroads.
What?
Gatorade.
A Gatorade.
The new name of the show is A Journey Through ADHD.
That's what it's always been.
Oh,
If you think it's been
Uh,
anything other than that,
Yeah.
like when people try to ask me, like, "Oh, what's your podcast about?" I'm like, "It's an excuse to talk to my friends, but really, it's just us stimming at each other for an hour and a half."
Right.
All right. But that's another movie. I want to watch Actually, I'm going to put Inglourious Bastards on while I work today.
I
tonight.
bet you don't.
I bet. Well, if it's not on a streaming service, then I won't.
somebody asked me earlier what we talked about, and I was like, "Well, we talk about just whatever we
Talking
think of.
about, tell you what I'm
Sometimes we
talking
talk about you, and like, wait, like in
Wait,
general,
what?
or like actually me. I'm like, depends.
Mhm.
Could be.
Depends on if you're about to say
ask
something
Quentin
stupid or
Tarantino.
not.
I couldn't hear either of you.
I heard it both ways.
You both talked at the same time, and it was like, it's
And I couldn't decipher what I said, so
I can't remember what I said either.
perfect.
Our-
And that,
our
in a
journeys through
nutshell, is this
ADHD.
show.
Yeah.
I'm Troy McClure.
I'm true.
You may remember me from such commercials as ADHD and what was I saying?
It was squirrel.
It's like I knew I was fucked when I had ADHD, and then I decided to be a stoner too, which that's like being dumb and stupid.
Mm-hmm. I
which
think I'm gonna go try to get
are
some
not the
Adderall, see how
same.
that works.
They are not the same.
because you can be smart and really fucking dumb at the same time.
Yep.
I'm seeing some of that happen.
You can
Yeah.
also be real fucking smart and real fucking stupid too.
Mm-hmm.
I wish more people understood that being educated doesn't necessarily make you smart either.
Right.
Like,
My favorite story of that is when we were going snowboarding and
Yeah.
Amy and her friends were talking about wolves.
Yeah.
And wouldn't let you or I get a word in because we weren't veterinarians or in school.
yeah.
And then so we just started talking about werewolves to them like it was real. And Amy's friends got all pissed off. And I was like, wait, are those the ones you have to shoot with the silver to get them down?
It's a
you
silver,
and
the wooden
Silver
stick
steak or a silver bullet or a
Yeah.
stick with a silver handle.
Or you drink a silver bullet before you shoot them.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that's it, right?
Yeah.
Two
And
or
so we
three.
were just going and oh man, that's my favorite.
I remember how mind blown they were when they realized I actually had a degree
And that I was actually
Couple of
smarter
them.
than them.
and another degree
yeah.
and on my way to another degree.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, what?
Yeah. Well, I tell
Because we would just sit around and be drunk.
yeah, and still smarter than all of them.
It's like they had Robin with all his degrees. They had me who was I was on the way and actively writing.
Right.
Like
And I'm just a smart dumb guy.
right. And so we're all having like high level idiot conversations. And then
High level idiot conversations. Sorry to interrupt, but that's
Yeah.
the name of the episode.
yeah.
Yep.
So but like I remember specifically there's one time I was talking about rhodopsin as a chemical that burns out in your eye, and because we were talking about fighter pilots. And I was like, yeah, they have to do something. I was talking about night blindness and in fighter pilots and rhodopsin and the chemical that burns off. And I remember the nerds looking at me like, how do you know what all that stuff is? Like,
It's called
'cause
reading a book.
I read like, yeah, I opened a book. You're not special because you
People
opened
don't
books.
only read books for degrees.
I didn't pay money to read the book. I just
Yeah.
read the book.
You know they just sell these books to just anybody.
Yeah.
Just read them.
They're just handing them out if you
They
got
won't
cash.
stop you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I like to
Nobody's
remind kids at
stopping.
school just
There
'cause
wasn't
you're
even
smart.
a weird old dude asking me 3 questions. They
Right.
just let me buy it.
No, you're buying.
What are you going to do with this book?
Read it.
Mash-
What are you going to do with the knowledge?
Beat my dick.
Are you going to college?
No.
Which one?
Yes.
All right, here you go.
I've been to a
All right,
couple.
wait. Well, hey,
These people, they could have been anywhere in the world, but they're here with us. We appreciate that. Make sure you're checking us out on YouTube. You can see all the visual jokes. You can see the human thumb. You
It's
can,
almost
that-
gone.
it's
He's
almost
aged.
gone. You done rubbed them off.
Hey,
All right.
wait till he sees
But
it goes
for
later.
this episode, this edition of my show, good night, universe.
That's a podcast.
Hey,
Good
good
morning.
Ducks.
I mean, depending on what time you're listening.
By 13.
There we are.
Good Ducks.
sure to go and check out definitelynotsellingdrugs.com.